Okay, hi there, Addy. Welcome back. This is going to be lesson number 59, and I'm super excited because we're going to jump back into school today. I mean, this whole week, you've had more than a week off, so this is awesome. We're going to start learning some new things. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited. All right, so you should have already done your 30 fractions that you needed to reduce, so I hope that was a good review. And now we're going to jump right into the lesson, which is adding mixed numbers today. So that is going to be really fun. First, a little cartoon to show you. What do you think is happening in this cartoon? It's actually hilarious, right? Because one of these things with the grid inside of it is usually like a scope on a gun. So obviously someone is looking through a scope, maybe wanting to shoot one of these bears. And look what this bear is doing. This bear is like, don't shoot me, shoot that guy. And that guy's like looking at him like, what are you doing? Oh, it's actually kind of dark humor. I don't know if you like it or if you think it's funny, but anyway, there you go. There's the Far Side comic for today. All right, let's do mental math, all right? So for mental math, we are going to count up and down by threes between 3 and 36, okay? So that's a little tricky. Let's see if we can do it. All right, so we're going to start with, and we have, Winnie the Pooh marching along as we do this. He's kind of exercising to get in shape. And it's actually, his head is turning. It's a little creepy, but that's okay. So we're going to count up and down by threes all the way to 36. Let's try it. We're going to start with 3. Then we're going to do 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, try and do it with me, 27, 30, 33, 36. All right, now we're going to count backwards. So subtract 3 every time. We're going to start with 36, 33, 30, 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. Woohoo, we did it! All right, good job. Let's do the rest of mental math now, and I gave you some beautiful pictures of snow to look at today while we're doing it, okay? So the first one, we're going to do 4 times 75. What is that? Write your answer. B. This is an addition problem. 279 plus 350. Write your answer. C. We're going to do 250 minus 199. Now, when you subtract 200 from this, are you going to add back 1 or are you going to subtract 1? Think about it carefully. Okay. Let's do D. D is $15 minus $7.75. Write your answer. Okay, and then E, we are going to double $1.50. And for F, we're going to do 800 divided by 40. Write your answer. Okay, G is one of these long ones, so we're going to go through it, okay? Here we go. We're going to start with the number 4 times 12. Then you're going to divide 6. Multiply by 8, subtract 4, divide by 6, multiply by 3, and divide by 2. If you need to hear that again, just skip back and I'll do it again for you, okay? Write your answer. All right, we're going to go on to problem solving. That's why I put this guy here. You recognize that. Houston, we have a problem. but you are going to solve it, okay? Here's the problem. We have a dot cube here. Now they have just one dot cube in the question. So just look at one dot cube. And they tell you that it has 6 faces. That means every one of these with a number on it is called a face. It has 6 of those on one cube. There's 3 that you can see, 3 you can't see. Okay, then it says where 2 faces meet, that's an edge. So of course, you know that, like that edge, this edge, here's another edge, here's another edge. And it wants to know how many edges does a dot cube have? Seems easy, but you're gonna definitely have to think about it. How many edges? You're gonna take some time to figure that one out, so I'll pause it right here, and when you come back, we're gonna move on to the new concept, okay? And today's new concept goes over adding mixed numbers. So we've been practicing adding mixed numbers all the way since lesson number 26. In this lesson, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rename the fraction parts, and then we're gonna add. So to rename them, we have to find common denominators, and then we're gonna add the fraction parts, and then we're gonna add it all together. Now, you remember the rule for, or the different steps for adding fractions, and that is the shopping rule. That's why I put that. We're gonna go shopping. Okay, so the first part is to find the right shape. That means to write them with common denominators. Step 2 is the operation where you're going to operate, and step 3 we're going to simplify. So here's example 1. They want us to add 2 1/2 plus 1 1/6. Okay, so these are the two numbers we're going to add. 2 1/2 plus 1 1/6. You can tell that it's a mixed number because it has this coefficient, then it has this fraction. Coefficient and fraction. Okay, or a whole number, I should say, a whole number and a fraction. Here we go. Step 1 is to write them with the same shape. That means they need to have common denominators. So this has to be the same as this. Okay, step 2, we're going to do the operation. Step 3, we're going to simplify. So let's just try it. Okay, so I rewrote those numbers here. We're adding 2 1/2 plus 1 1/6. So step 1 is we are going to find the right shape. Shopping rule, step 1 is shape, and we're going to go this way to do it. So I'm just going to focus on this part, the fraction, the 2 and the 6. What do you think the common denominator is going to be? And I think it's going to be a 6 because this one already has a 6. So let's figure out how to turn this one into a 6. So what do we need to multiply by to make sure that this becomes a 6? Okay, we need to multiply by 3. So I'm going to do that. So 2 times 3 is going to be 6, but you have to do the same thing to the top and the bottom. So I'm also going to put a 3 there. 1 times 3 is going to be 3. And then on the bottom, we have 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Now, notice I was only paying attention to the fraction. The mixed number stays the same. So I'm just going to put that there. And the bottom, we don't have to do anything to it because it already has the common denominator of 6. So now we can just move straight on to step number 2, which is operate. Operate. Okay, so we're going to go down, and that means do the operation. In this situation, it's adding. So I'm going to put a plus sign there, and now we just add. So I'm going to add the whole numbers first. So we've got 2 plus 1, and I'm going to put 3 here. Now I'm going to add, if we add 3 6 plus 1 6, we get 4 6. Okay, because the denominator stays the same when you add. Now what we need to do is we need to simplify this, and this is actually step number 3 in the shopping rule is simplify. And usually you do it that way. Okay, so 3 and 4 6, how do we reduce that fraction? And you've been practicing how to reduce fractions, so I think you already know how. It's going to be, it's going to be 3 and 2/3. Okay, and that's the final answer. That's all it is to it. Okay, so let's go on to the next page and we're going to do example number 2. You ready? Example number 2 says we're going to add 1.5 plus 2 2/3. So again, we're adding a mixed number, a whole number plus a fraction, a whole number plus a fraction. We're going to go through the SHOPS rule. SH for shape, OP for operate, S for simplify. All right, here we go. So I wrote it again here. We've got 1.5 and we've got 2 2/3. I didn't change anything right there. So the first thing we're going to do is change the shape. That means they have to have the same denominators. Kind of like they have to have, the bottoms have to be the same. So if we're looking at a 2 and looking at a 3, what is the least common multiple of a 2 and a 3? So what I do is I take the biggest one, and it's a 3. Could it be 3? No, because that one doesn't go into 3. What if I double this? It could be 6. Does 2 go into 6? Yes, it does. So the least common multiple is going to be 6. So I'm going to find something over here that ends up being over 6. Now, I'm going to have to change the shape of both of these fractions, right? Because I'm changing a 2 into a 6 and a 3 into a 6. What do I need to multiply 2 by to get 6? I need to multiply it by 3. And of course, we do the same thing to the top. And let's just go ahead and do it right now so we don't get too confused at the next step. So 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So we got that. 1 times 3 is going to be what? It's going to be 3. And then we just bring this whole number over because we didn't do anything to it. So it's going to be 1 3/6 for the top. Now, what about the bottom? Let's look at the bottom. We want to turn this 3 into a 6. What do I need to multiply by so that it ends up being 6? And I think you know I need to multiply by 2. We do the same thing to the top and the bottom. So this is going to be 3 times 2 is 6, which we did. And on the top, it's going to be 2 times 2 is going to be 4. So I need to put a 4 over here. Then we didn't do anything to that whole number, so I'm just going to bring over that 2. Now, you can see what we're actually doing. What we're actually doing is we're adding 1 3/6 plus 2 4/6. So let's add those. I'm going to put a plus sign here because step number 2 in this SHOPS rules is to do the operation. Operate. Operation. Okay, here we go. We're going to add the whole numbers first. We've got a 1 and we've got a 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now look at these fractions. We've got 3/6. We're going to add 4/6 to it. What do we get? We get 7/6. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Alrighty, so step 3 says that we have to simplify this. But this is interesting. In fact, I might want to rewrite it over here. This is how interesting it is. I'm going to rewrite it right there because this is the tricky part. 7/6 is actually an improper fraction. I can't believe it walked out into public being so improper. My goodness. Okay, so 7/6. Let's just not worry about that 3 for now. This is the same as 3 plus 7/6, and I just want to worry about that 7/6 for now. So that 7/6, what if we turned that into a mixed number? What would we get? We would get 1 1/6. Okay? So what we really have here instead of 3 and 7/6 is we have 3 plus 1 1/6. So 3 plus 1 1/6, all you have to do is just add the whole numbers. You have to add the 3 and the 1. So to simplify this, you actually have to do another addition problem, and you're going to get 4 1/6. Okay, if that does not make sense to you, make sure that you let me know. Write it in your homework. And that's the answer, buddy. That's it. So we are going to stop there right after I show you this cute little comic. And there's the teacher teaching the class, and he has made a box, it looks like, right? And he's showing them this is called the face, this part. This is called the edge. We learned about that. And this is the vertex. The vertex is those pointy areas. And this kid is saying, that's fine, but you haven't told us the most important part. What's in it? Like it's a present or something, right? Because that is important to a kid, like what's in the box. That is a good question. He's just trying to teach him about the box, and the kid's like, but what's in the box? It's hilarious, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and go do your homework now, Addy. Love ya. Have a great day, okay? Bye.